I'm Vin.
I'm Sori.
If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the Filthy Capitalist option. As Sori says, 125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. 125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and then get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at vinsori@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is the community option. $1 at the gate gets you in at Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
And they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go on the village, facebook.com/Vin and Sori. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sori and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy merch.
This is Bathory, Twilight of the Gods. Let's do it. Okay, setting the atmosphere,
The time.
I told you. Oh, wow. Yes, Pinky! I have the power! Whoa.
Wow. I'll tell you what, they need more metal in church. You remember that song, More Love, More Power, More of You? That one? At the ending, the way it was going, it sounded like that one. I was like, that song could be so much better if they like...
It did.
Wow.
Holy. Shit. That solo, she's exactly right. It was heart-wrenching. Like, it definitely does something to you, like, that solo.
Really, really, really good pick. Really good pick.
Wow. That wasn't even going to be on his list. That was the extra song that was done. Hey!
Shout out to the fucked up situation that brought this to us.
Evil motherfuckers that deserve to die. Holy shit. This is obviously my favorite song of the night.
Very good.
Bathory.
So wait, babe, did we end up finding the lyrics? Because
I did. So apparently, Twilight of the Gods is a title that like 15 bands used.
That's why we couldn't find the right one.
Yeah, because the one that we had, it was weird because it was listed as Bathory too, and when I looked at the lyrics, but they were wrong. But somebody suggested Encyclopedia Metallum, and I did, and that's where I found it. Damn, what a freaking epic song, man!
Wow.
Damn. There's a serpent in every Eden, slick as grease and cold as ice. There is a lie in every meaning. Rest assured to fool you twice. I love the cadence too. There's a serpent.
I was wanting the lyrics so badly.
I know.
Because I could feel that it was like going good, but I didn't know what they were saying.
I know.
It's so weird though. I thought I heard one of them say fire at one point. I could have sworn I heard fire.
It's going to be in here.
Oh, okay.
In this age of utter madness, we maintain we are in control and ending life before deliverance while countries are both bought and sold. Holy writings, hocus pocus, blaze of glory and crucifix. Prepared costly credit prepaid. It looks like prepaid. Costly credit salvations, TV preachers and dirty. Wow, man,
Yikes.
They're just going in. Don't trust nobody. It will cost you much. It will cost you much too much. Beware of the dagger. It caresses you at first touch.
Yikes.
Oh, all small creatures, it is the twilight of the gods, when the foundation to our existence begins to crumble one by one, and legislations protect its breakers, and he who is wrong but paid the most won. Even the gods of countless religions holds no powers against this tide of denigration, because we have now found that there is no thrones up there in the sky. Run from this fire, it would burn your very soul in flames reaching higher. Came this far, there is no hold. Oh, small creatures, it's the twilight of the gods. So it's like, the Nietzsche's madman. He's in the court. He discovers that God is dead, and dude is losing his mind. You know what I'm saying? Because he's like, now what are we gonna do? And Nietzsche's idea was, well, we're gonna evolve. Millions of people are gonna die.
Oh God.
He basically predicted World War II. Essentially, he's like, millions of people are gonna die, but from those ashes will rise the Ubermensch, who will find ways of establishing foundational society and all that without God and all the rest of it. And I think Nietzsche's God is dead thing was a bit premature.
I believe so too. You remember that whole
Christianity has spread like wildfire in China, as Mr. Trump would say, under severe persecution. So has Islam. So, like, obviously God is not dead. But
right.
What is dying, though, what's fascinating to me, what is actually dying is materialism and physicalism. That is what's dying. That concept that matter is all that there really is. That concept is dying, and it's not dying a slow death. As Hoffman likes to quote, space-time is dead. So that's really, really fascinating, and I think the same sort of cognitive dissonance or same sort of philosophical panic that I think a lot of evangelicals had, which I think around that period, World War II, post-World War II, which then gave rise to Christian fundamentalism. because of the advancements in sciences and things of that nature that we're
When you say
the
Christian
mainstream.
fundamentalism, what do you mean?
You're talking KJV only.
Oh, okay.
You know,
all right.
6-day creation, 6,000 years in the earth. You know,
Yeah.
holding fast and strong on those things when even since the 4th century.
We were
discussing and debating those things about
okay.
creation, and then making that the definitional. This is we're towing the line.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think the radical Christian fundamentalism is a result of, quote, the death of God, and I think that we're going to see probably a form of materialist fundamentalism because of the death of materialism. That materialism is not going to last this generation. It's just not.
Yeah, it does kind of seem that way.
Just between the quantum physicists and the devil put the dinosaur bones out there to trick us. You know, that type of shit. That was a big thing in Christian fundamentalism.
Oh my goodness.
I think that the materialists and the physicalists, in order to maintain their worldview, are going to have to really and you know, a lot of them are kind of fundamentalist already. They don't countenance, you know, any alternative views. They're just as closed-minded as religious fundamentalists are. Yep. You know, I'm talking to a guy back and forth in the chat about the Tobias Forge thing. He's like, "Oh, people who believe in fairy tales scare me," you know, whatever. You know, it's this sort of like, we're above you because we're rationalists. And I said, like how life can emerge from non-living matter, like that kind of a fairy tale. He's like, "You're so stupid." That's a dumb. He said, "Just because we don't know how it's done."
There it goes. They always say it's stupid when it's like they don't know what to say.
Yeah, and again, that's a form of fundamentalism. You know, like anybody who even pokes at the grounding basis of your worldview is an enemy, and you have to crush them, and you have to insult them, and throw all this crazy ad hominem and all the rest of it. And I said, bro, you're not understanding. Like, you don't understand. You're presupposing that materialism is true, so you believe that you're going to somehow find the answers how to boot up life from matter. He's not even questioning the idea that his materialist presupposition is false, because he doesn't even realize he's looking at the world through a physicalist worldview. He doesn't get it. So,
right.
Which is what happens when you run into a lot of Christian fundamentalists. They don't get it. Like, we're not saying that the Bible's wrong. We're saying your interpretation of the Bible is wrong.
There's a difference.
Your literalization of Genesis 1 is what we're saying is problematic. We're not saying that the Bible's wrong. We're saying, but they can't do it.
Yeah.
Because if they have to abandon fundamentalism or rethink creation or rethink inerrancy, that to them is the foundation of their entire essence and being as a person, as a Christian, and it sends them into an absolute panic. And it's the same thing. It's the same thing with a lot of, you know, atheist or scientific fundamentalists. They get scared to death when they have to deal with the fact that the grounding presupposition of their worldview is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that's what we're seeing right now in the world is that, you know, these folks are in a serious panic now, because between the quantum physicists and the idealists and things of that nature, and Don Hoffman and those other guys, they're showing real hardcore scientific proof that a physicalist or a materialist presupposition is damn near impossible to uphold with the current information that we have. And I think, you know, so anyway, the song is really interesting though, because it's not just talking about, you know, scientific discoveries that are kind of making people shaky. What if I don't have a grounding presupposition for a worldview? Well, Alan, you believe the laws of logic are true, right? Otherwise, you can't reason. So, I'd say you probably have an Aristotelian logical assumption, which is a presupposition for a worldview. I've never heard you articulate an intuitive logical perspective. It's most of the time Aristotelian. But let's get back to this. Holy Writings, Hocus Pocus, Blaze of Glory, Crucifix, when he says prepaid costly credit, salvation, TV preachers, and dirty tricks. Yep. It's not also that it's not also that science is, quote, disproving religion. It's that religious leaders are disproving religion.
Exactly.
Because they're selling the religion. So it's like, you don't even believe this shit.
They used to say, what is that thing where they would say like, oh, if I live my whole life according to
Pascal's wager.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Say what it is.
Which if
Just say
I lived as a Christian for my entire life and I got to the end of it and it was all false, I've kind of lost nothing because it just made me a good person and all the rest of it. But if I'm right, obviously, then I gain everything. Conversely, if you lived if Christianity was false, and at the end of your life you turned out and it was right, then you've lost everything.
They used to say that when we were growing up, and I always I'd think to myself, I'd say, oh, yeah, that's a good one. But in the back of my head, I was like, no, I don't think so. Because Christianity, when you have to live this way, it was so rigid that I was like, I feel like I'd have a lot more friggin' fun. I think that I remember thinking that on multiple occasions. I thought I missed out on a lot of fun. And that's one. So I think that version of Christianity can just die 1,000 deaths.
Yeah.
The version of Christianity I think that we live, where it's like, you know what, we're not perfect people, but we're having fun. We're enjoying people. We're enjoying God's creation. We go to the concerts. We enjoy the people at the concerts. It's not at all what I thought it was going to be. There's no nobody's getting sacrificed at the front. You know what I mean? Like we didn't.
Nobody's heart is being eaten.
Yeah. Right. Although. Did they throw blood? No, I think it was paint. No, at Nergal's thing. Remember?
Oh, yeah. I don't know. So, what can you do?
Yeah.
Nothing can be done.
Yeah. Oh, my mic just went out. So anyway, just carry on, I guess. Did you hit something? Okay.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah. No, yeah, I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying with that. And I think to a degree, you probably needed fundamentalism. They held the line so we didn't spin off into space. Right, so that it ends up creating Christians like me, you, and Perk, where it's like we can say, look, we still believe all the fundamentals, we still believe all the grounding things.
Yeah, we do.
Council of Nicaea, we still believe all that stuff.
We do.
We're just not afraid of the truth either. We're not afraid of science. We're not afraid of people. We're not afraid of gay people. You know what I'm saying? Like, Christian fundamentalism to me was born out of a bunch of fear.
Yep.
And so we still have the basis of the historical Christian faith minus the fear.
Right.
And I think so I think in that sense, Christianity, in that sense, fundamentalism did its job. It was basically to hold the line for Western Christianity until we were able to inherit it and move on. I really believe that. You know what I'm saying? And whatever ism, because that form of Christianity is about to die with that last generation with the dispensationalists. Shout out to John MacArthur. That's about to die, and whatever we hand off to the next generation, we're gonna hold the line, and they're gonna have something else. You see what I'm saying?
Yep, exactly.
So, that's the Perk is saying exactly. I affirm all the creed. So when he's talking about Twilight of the Gods, it's basically, we don't have anything foundational anymore. And even if it was we were all just pretending with Christianity, the leaders are no longer even pretending anymore. For you to go out there and tell some woman, hey, if it's between the light bill and sowing into my ministry, which means give me money, give me the money and God will bless you. That means you don't believe any of this shit.
Yeah.
Right? Because if giving people money would bless you, then you, millionaire minister, you would sow into her light bill so then you could get the blessing and she could keep her lights on, you evil motherfucker. But because you don't really believe the shit that you're saying, but you're on TV, Bathory's looking at this and going, here we go.
Yep.
Right? Here we go. You guys don't believe this shit anymore. So now the whole foundation of Western society is completely destroyed and we got to figure some shit out. Go ahead. What were you saying?
So years ago in my past relationship, we were trying to get a house and we were like in this weird because he already owned a trailer and you can't, if you already owned a piece of property, then you couldn't get the other loan, even though you had the trailer paid for. It was a very weird situation. I think it was the specific loan we were going for because it had like a lower interest rate or something like that. So his uncle was saying, because we were figuring out our budget, which is very weird. Like our budget should have just been our information, but he was very connected to his parents. And so his parents had our whole budget on the table and his uncle was involved and everything. It was very weird. So anyway, his uncle, God bless the man. He was like, he's not a Christian at all. He was like, but I don't understand how come, because we were factoring in, paying tithes to the church. And he was like, well, but why would you do that? Like, you're trying to get this loan. You already don't have enough. Like, what? I don't think that God expects you to not go through with this loan and get your home so that way you can give to the church. And I felt uncomfortable answering the question because I could kind of, like, there's always, like, this practical side of me that's like, yeah, that's a really good point. But I can't go with that because that's not what we were taught. So I was like, well, no, like, and then I talked about how, like, it's the only, like, one of the commands, like with a blessing or something like that God's going to bless you more. And to be honest with you, it always worked out for me like that. You know, when I was in that crazy cult at college or whatever, I had literally no money. And for some reason, my parents didn't send me like a stipend of like even like $20 a month or something. I'm not really sure why they didn't do that. I think that's kind of weird now that I'm an adult and I have kids of my own.
Yeah.
Very, very weird. They would pay for me to come home for the holidays though. But I had to pay for the college. I had to pay for all that stuff to get myself there and to stay there and whatever. So anyway, I had no money and I only had like, I think $5 left or $5 left or $10 left, whatever it was. And we would take a trip once a month going to the store. Other than that, you couldn't leave the campus. You didn't have your own vehicle. You couldn't take a taxi, nothing. You could only leave when the bus left and you had to ride on the bus and it was for like an hour and a half and you had to stay together so nobody did anything crazy. It was very, very rigid. So we were coming up to our 1 month shopping trip. I had no more hair products like hair shampoo, soap, all that stuff. I needed that stuff and I only had $10 left and it was time for the tithe went around and I felt like God said, put your money in. And I was like, but I don't have anything if I don't do this, if I give this. But I still felt like, again, he said, put it in. I said, all right. So I took my $10 and I put it in, but I felt full of faith. Like I felt like God was going to come through. Like, and it didn't mean it was going to be easy. It didn't mean he was going to give me money to be able to get shampoo. Like I figured somehow I'd figure out a way to get clean. I didn't know how, but something was going to come up, even if it was like a random bar of soap put on my bed. And then the mail truck came early before we went on the shopping trip, which didn't happen, but it did. And I was like, yo. And then they start passing out the stuff. They called my name. I opened it up. My aunt Doris had sent me money. Mad money from Aunt Doris. $20. $20. It was literally double what I had put in the thing. So like that kind of stuff happened to me all the time. So I believed that if we, you know, put that money in at the church that God was going to come through. And he did. Like everything worked out. We got a foreclosed house that was like impossible. The price that we got for it, everything worked out with it. It was really great. But yeah, you can land in those situations when you're talking about religion and I don't know.
Well, that's the thing. Like that's something that happened between you and God though. That wasn't some ridiculous
That's true.
preacher telling you.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's
true.
That's what he's talking about. Like he doesn't have a problem. I don't think he has a problem necessarily with people, you know, exercising their own faith privately. What he has a problem with is people on TV turning the thing into a business. Mm-hmm. That's the issue. And you know, the point is that these are the leaders, and when your leaders don't truly believe in what they're saying anymore, then foundationally everything is just destroyed at that point.
Yeah. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So that's the problem. Okay, what do you give? This song's a 10 for me. It's the only 10 I've given out all day. And like I said, I pulled back and I was a lot stricter with my grading.
Yeah.
So that 10s can be 10s. Mm-hmm. And that's what it was. And I really, really appreciate that. So I'm very happy about my grading today. I felt I've graded honestly and well. This is a 10. I love the song start to finish. There was no weakness in this song at all in any way, shape, or form. It was perfect. As Bradley says, 11 out of 10 arrows of erection.
Shoot.
What? What do you give it?
I'm debating. I'm a 9.9 or a 10. I'm not sure. Yeah, Daniel, I think he was trying to, you know, like when they do that suggestive stuff, so then you'll like say, He was like, I'm going to dial this up to an 11 when he sent the thing. So it's like, we give it 11s across the board. I guess 10 for me as well. So 10 and a 10.
There you are, dear listener.
Hope you guys enjoyed the stream. We certainly did.
It's been quite the stream. Thank you so much to everybody. Shout out to our DJ Daniel with giving us one of the most eclectic streams of all time, as well as a new Vin and Sori. I don't know if that's a shirt.
No.
Arrows of erection. Holy smokes. All right, dear listener.
Okay.
Having said that, love your neighbor, take care of each other. Vin